Okay, hi James, how you doing? Okay, this will be your last critique before your final submission. So I want to talk about a few different things and from the top, from the general objectives of the assignment as they relate to the course outcomes and how your project and the execution of a project fits into that formula. A couple of things I think that are done very well, and I think the shadow is good. I think you're showing that technique. That's a really good thing. You've done a great job clipping the image to the type, and that's another really good thing. I'm really impressed the fact that you have your adjustment layers and they're clipped to the background layer. So as we can see, they're only affecting that layer. So that's good job there. You got some effects on your type. That's also good. Okay, now from here, I think a lot of what I'm going to say is going to be review because I've talked about this before. The main thing, my main concern is you're not showing layer masking. This indicates what's called a destructive workflow in Photoshop, and it's contrary to what we're looking for, and that's a non-destructive workflow, meaning that every edit you make in your Photoshop work should be able to be corrected or dismissed with one click, okay? Meaning that your adjustment layer, for example, let's say, here's a great example. You show this to your client says, you know what, I liked the way the background looked before, I don't like this. So you've done adjustment layers, which means all you have to do is turn them off and you're back to the original background. Okay, that's the beauty of adjustment layers. Now, you don't have any other adjustment layers here, or you don't have any layer masks, meaning that these have been brought in sans background. All right, so in a situation in Photoshop where you're masking out a background, you always want to do the masking within the file you're working with in case you need to make changes to that selection. Very, very important concept, and one I think that really needs to be applied to this particular assignment. So for example, you've got all of this stuff. Every one of these should have the background intact. So I should come over here and I should have a stack of layer masks right next to all of your layers. I should be able to click that, turn it off, and have the whole background appear. We don't have that in any of everything has been brought in here without a background. Okay, and that's one of the things that was the main objective in the earlier tasks. So that is missing. Main thing so far is the fact that you're not using layer masking. Okay, also you've got a lot of areas that have been drawn in. Basically, you've drawn them in using these shapes. And presumably, the reason you have done that is because you couldn't find a garbage bag. I mean, for me, I would have said, hey, let's find a garbage bag that size right there, or bigger than that, and we'll just mask that portion out so that it's an actual garbage can and not a drawing. That way, the assignment would remain true to the requirements that everything be placed in here as raster images, and that we're not using any vector graphics as indicated here by the use of the polygon and the rectangle tools. Okay, hope that makes sense. Let me know. The other thing is this. Let's take a look at our image size. And we're at 8 by 10 at 300. Good job there. However, while I'm talking about size, I'm going to come over here to my magnifying glass, and I'm going to put it on plus, and we're going to zoom in here a little bit, and just want to move over here. This is a high resolution images. They all are. That's good. You've selected great images to use. All high res images. See how crisp and clear they all are? Boxes, everything. Now let's take a look at the background and look how damaged the pixels are. This is clearly indicative of a low resolution image. I want to show you another low resolution image that you've used, and to do that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to release your clipping mask so that we can see, again, that image is a low resolution image. Look at the difference in clarity between that image and the garbage can. Okay, and again, I mean, I've mentioned all of these things before. So I'm basically just kind of reiterating, kind of reviewing. So I would like to see those changes going into final. I really think it's important for you to show the course objectives. Now, as far as the way the guy looks great. I mean, he looks fantastic. He's fun. He would totally work as a toy for Eclipse Entertainment. The background is pretty interesting. There he is, just in a mountain of garbage. He's kind of morphed into this creature from this mountain of garbage. And it's interesting. He's got the cool banana hat, and he's got the little arms and a little kind of peephole eyes peering from behind the can. So there's a lot of really super interesting compositional elements here. But as far as the technical proficiency goes, that's where my concern is, okay? So I would like to see you recompose addressing the issues that I've talked about in this video. And if you have any issues, if you're not sure of how to do any of that, let me know. And I can show you videos right in the classroom that specifically address each and every one of the concerns I mentioned. And I also have a ton of other resources too. And if you need, I can make you a video, a tutorial video. So if there's something specific in this particular file that you don't understand, I can use this file to create a tutorial to show you what to do. So let me know, but those would be my recommendations. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. Thanks, man.